looking at my hair floating around on my head. Kind of goes with the rest of my day. Just making sure I'm on both here. So I should be on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. That's where I am every day because I use BeLive broadcasting. It obviously doesn't get me to be able to use all the star things and everything that Facebook has, but it gets me on both channels at the one time. So welcome. Good morning. I've been away for a few days. You've probably seen the short little video I made yesterday morning. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Brianna. So I don't have a lot of time this morning. I thought I would have more time, but I actually have clients and I still had, so I've been in 3 classes over the past, I forgot I'm in another class. So 6:30 in the morning, I go into another class. So I just finished that one this morning as well. So I'm like, so when I said yesterday I was going to be done school today, no, I wasn't. I had to go to school again this morning. So I'm now officially done my classes. And my brain is in overdrive. I'm just looking outside at the snow and just going, really? Are you effing kidding me? It is snowing again. Good morning, Tracy, Terry Ann, Roxanne. Good morning. So welcome, everybody. I just wanted to stop in. I do have to be out of here for a 10:30 client, but I wanted to make sure I got in here this morning. If not, I wouldn't be in at all. I don't think anymore today. We'll see. I may go visit my daughter and grandbaby, depending on this weather. So I just want to start with this morning while we're waiting for everybody to join in. So I woke up this morning after being in school, and we always know when we come out of anything that we're doing in training, we always have the hangover is what we call it, is the spiritual hangover. When we spend so much time deep into, being in our la la land of our fantasy, and not fantasy, being in our la la land of the beautiful unconditional love. And then we have to return to this real world. And I had a beautiful message this morning from my beautiful student and friend and amazing woman, Julie, who always touches my heart, who said, on Earth Day, being Earth Day and being able to touch this earth and being who she is today after more than existing and finding her way to love and those things, really, truly, the message brought something forward for me of love, and I felt that love. And so I'm having a rough day, but not in the way of having a rough day that something is wrong, but in a rough day of why can the whole world not just come together and just, why are we falling for that motive to separate us all? And it's such as a mystic, as a prophetess, I can tell you that most of what's being thrown on us, it all has a motive. And I don't care what anyone says. It has a motive. It's intentionally trying to divide us for the highest good of Lucifer energy, for what is not good for the highest good, but what serves very, very few. And very, very few are actually really, truly winning on this. Go look at how they live their lives. Go look at how they're making other people feel everyone is living their lives. And go look at the ones that are pushing the motives the biggest. Go look at the lives they live, and then look at your neighbor, and you will see such a big contrast in that. And I'm not someone who's against anyone living a good life. If you live a good life based on the fact that you did it out of integrity, and we're seeing a whole lot of that's not done out of integrity or out of a place of a good place in our hearts. So yeah. And that's coming up for me today as I lay down my cards. Happy Earth Day, Joanne. And hello, everyone who's joining in. Angie, Judy, Kenzie, Mary, good morning. Glenda, hello. Ashley, I used to say, I'm not built to be the world. Right? To be in this world, I feel so much. I feel too much. Well, we're all here for a reason, right? And like some of us came to this earth kicking and screaming. I don't know if I always said, I thought the last time was my last time and I'm back again. I think I thought the last time was my last time and I'm back again. And so yeah, and it's just like, so from where I sit in what I do and who I am and what I witness in this world and how and where so much of it is built from, there is so much wrong right now. And I can't pretend it's okay. But our Earth Day, this place of our Earth Day and honoring Earth and honoring the love that is here and the love that is provided for us through the world, through nature, through the ability to be able to look out through my window today and see beautiful trees, even though it's snow falling and it's cold, and yesterday was 18, and to see my neighbors and their children sitting in a home and having a roof over their head and hopefully food on their table, and to see, we have these beautiful gardens and those things. I think I'm pretty freaking blessed. Right. And so when I look throughout the world and see so many people don't have that, and when I see people out destroying what people work so hard for, or destroying a place that now leaves a mom who may not have known where her next meal was coming from, and then you destroyed the place where she worked to make that money, and you went in and you just destroyed that because you thought it was going to hurt somebody higher up, and it really didn't. It hurt the person that was going to go to work today, that probably didn't know where her next food or his next meal was going to come from, or where they're going to feed their children, and you convinced yourself that you just did something that was for the highest good of all. It's called bullshit. Right. And so it's like, so when you do that and you walk home and you put yourself to bed and you hurrah, you pat yourself on the back that you just did something great, think about the person that don't have a job today. Think about the person who is no different than you. But the person that incited you to go do that, look at where they're sleeping today and see if they lost any sleep. Because it's the person that's left behind today. And that's what's hurting my heart. It's those everyday people that are struggling and suffering the most out of this motive to cause this chaos, and to see that. And it's that person that can't go to work today. It's that person that has no job today. It's that person that may not feed their children today. It's that person that may have to go home to face the abuse because of the anger that is being pushed into the world. And it may be that woman that job may have been the way that she was escaping, building up a way to escape a life that she needed to get out of. Who knows? But it never affected the people that you think it did, the way that you think it is, because that life never changed for them. You just attacked your own people. And that's our world right now. We are attacking and eating away at our own people, we have that sense of doing things what we think is for the right reasons of love in our hearts. And we have so much that needs to change. And if we don't stop and look at where we are, is to be that everyday goddess, to be that everyday woman, to be that everyday person, is when I watch one neighbor walk down and ream out their other neighbor because they can't keep their kids in any longer, and they got to go to work, but you're down lecturing them over this fucking virus stuff. Like, really? Really? Is that who you're really angry at today? Is that what you're really angry about? And we're seeing so much that in the world. And I woke up with an overwhelming sense of love in my heart this morning, of that sense of, if we want to be a better world, if we want to be a better place, we have to start with us. And we have to start turning off that fucking news, that if you listen to it really, really freaking carefully, if you look at that news anchor, where are they going home to go to bed? Right? What is it? How is this serving them? And to get back to the everyday person, this life has to be returned. The earth was made for us everyday people. And it was made for us to create our heaven on earth together. And we have to create our heaven on earth. When you look at your garden and you go in your yard, I say thank you. You know what I thought of this morning? I woke up and yesterday I had 2 ladybugs. Now I'm in Canada. So, it was 18 degrees yesterday. The ladybugs were coming out, and I went out and my friend was coming to pick up some stuff. So I had to move the ladybug so that she wouldn't get trampled on. So I moved the ladybug and then I put it in a spot, and then I realized I seen another ladybug, and I'm like, oh, maybe she was on her way to that ladybug. So I put the 2 of them down in the same spot. And I woke up this morning thinking, Oh, what if they see I helped save them yesterday, but what if they weren't saved today in this weather? Thought, right? And so it's like, but I could see the through the childlike mind. I have a very childlike mind. I have a very that innocent sense of I see those little tiny things. And that's the problem. We're not seeing the little things anymore. We have to go back to seeing the little things in this world. We have to see the little things like the little people, the everyday people, because that's not what we're seeing right now. That's not what we're seeing. And we have to bring our eyes back to there and bring our truth back to there. And we have to return to there. And we have to be able to return to that love, the compassion, the kindness, those things that we had prior to this big ass fucking fear story that's being thrown on us out into this world. Do we need change? Yes. Was change happening? Change was happening regardless. As much as you'd like to say it wasn't, it was happening. We're coming together as a collective. We were coming together in a more beautiful way, but now we are further apart than ever before. And this is not this whole woke. I'm not woke. I've been awakened since I arrived with a big, kind heart that would never intentionally ever set out to ever hurt anybody because I'm not raised that way. To never look at skin color or to look at those things and to judge somebody based on that. I'm not raised that way. And so to be told what we are and what we are not, to be judged based upon my appearance, like those things, I'm sorry, that's all been forced upon us. That's programming. And so what we have been programmed to believe, we all have the opportunity to unprogram from now. And so those looking at me today and judging, saying that white girl, hate to have to tell you, I'm not that white girl, right? I am a blended in love and diversity in so many ways. And I am Aboriginal. I am Mi'kmaq First Nations out of Newfoundland. And my ancestors also came from some sort of Aboriginal sense through Europe. And my great grandfather, you know what they used to call my great grandfather? Because he was a French Indian mix. They used to call him a jacketar. And he used to wear that so freaking proud. And that is not a word we want to use anymore. We've moved, and this is what I'm trying to say. We were changing. We were evolving. We were moving beyond those terminologies. Like we were moving beyond those words. We didn't need somebody to tell us what we need to think in our minds. We just knew it was wrong. And we started to make those changes towards what was right. And that was the difference. We were making changes. Was it fast enough? Maybe not for some, but instant gratification is what is taking us to where we are right now. And we can't have instant gratification. This world wasn't built in one day. And we are babies. We're newbies. We are newbies. Right? And we need to be able to go back to there. A bee. Yeah. So I got cards for us. I got cards to go with that as well today. Speaking to the unspeakable. Bravo. Yes, right, exactly. I don't know where that came from, but that obviously came out. Yes, exactly, Joanne. Earth is heart. Exactly. Earth is heart. You saw Ladybug yesterday too, right? Yes. Bees on the lavender. I know, there's so much beauty to be seen. Look at that. The Observer. See, we just can't make this shit up. So our card out today is the Observer. She's 10, 5, change. So the Observer, this is Shelta. She's observing and witnessing the world. And I believe I was put here to observe this world. Oh, freak, where did my cards go? Hold on. I had these open. Where is Shelta in the deck? This is Shelta. Let's bring her up. Yes, exactly, Deborah. We miss those things. We need to be in touch with people again. I can tell you that I have channeled through seeing some tumbling of some empire stuff. happening. And a little bit of it is in Canada and some of it is in the US. And I seen somebody being taken out from up above, from one of those big empires in handcuffs. And I just feel like I seen somebody being taken out in handcuffs like this in one of my channeled messages. And it felt like I felt like it's female, but I don't know for sure. I won't say that for sure, but that's what the hands kind of looked like, more of that female type of hands. But I seen somebody being taken out, but they're being taken out of like a big building, and they were in like a big office position. And then I also seen some like tumbling down happening. So I don't know where that's going to come in. I haven't spoken the channeled message. I seen it so far. So I'll see where it comes out for me. But so Shelta brings forth the observer. And this is being able to observe life. And if you look up really closely and you look up at that greeny matter that's up in the top, we said, when you look at her close, first we seen the Mother Mary energy in there. But if you look really close, you can see a face in there. And that face wasn't intentionally put in there. And it's that face of like, wow, it's like that one, like, what? Like, that's kind of what it looks like. It's like looking in at us with horror, like, what are we doing? But it's also a faith card. It is also about hope. And I was writing a whole thing that I'm going to offer for this weekend, and it's the 4-leaf clover. And I have a in my sketchbook, and I brought this up so I can show you, because I'm going to do Sitting with Spirit this weekend. I just got to post it. I just got to get it up. And so this was coming up for me. And I wrote a whole lot about this 4-leaf clover. And my story goes way, way back. And I think it's in my second book. I'm not sure which book is in. And I said, one day I seen this little girl's hand come out. And I remember I was out camping. I just had my daughter and we went camping. She wasn't very old. And I was drinking tequila. Not gonna lie. And it was from Mexico and had the worm in it, and like it was just strong freaking stuff. And I was with my brother and some friends and my brother's wife, and so we were all out camping, and I fell over. And when I fell over a stump coming from the outhouse. This was back when I was in my 20s. I stumbled into 7 4-leaf clovers. Now, as much as the tequila, I couldn't feel my legs very well. I fell into 7 4-leaf clovers. And I remember walking back with 7 4-leaf clovers. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody, look what I just found. 7 4-leaf clovers. I'm going to have the best life ever. And they were like laughing at me. They're like, where did you find them? And everybody next day was looking for 4-leaf clovers. So when the message came through again, and observing and witnessing this experience, was I seen a little girl standing up in the middle of a green field, and she had found a 4-leaf clover. And this was in my channeled messages. And she found a 4-leaf clover, and everybody come running to witness, to see it. And everybody was like in awe. But so many were just like, oh, so good, so happy for you. And they walked away. They had no desire to go find their own. They just knew that they didn't need to. Others became so envious and so jealous. They got on their hands and knees, and they went all through the fields and gave up all their day of being with their friends, having fun, all in the search for one 4-leaf clover. And all of a sudden, one kid stood up and just stood there and said, hey, what are we doing? Do you not know all we have to do is look out over, and we will see 4-leaf clovers everywhere, because the field is full. The world is full of 4-leaf clovers. There's no doubt the 4-leaf clovers are there. Why are we seeking and searching for one 4-leaf clover when there is millions, billions of 4-leaf clovers? But just because we don't see it today, and because she found it, we want what she has. And that became a message that I put out in my channeled work, in my work. And it was such an aha moment, but it makes sense to us. Do you know how much of our lives we spend on our hands and knees, seeking and searching for specific things like purpose, like the perfect life, like what somebody else has, like what you see on Instagram, trying to be somebody else, we spend our lifetime because somebody else showed us the possibility of what they had. And we keep that searching for luck and all of those things. If you were to truly look, all four quadrants of life, we have it all. Your destiny will never come as long as you keep going back to look into the hands of what somebody else has and be jealous, to be envious, or to be resentful, or to be angry, or to be whatever because somebody else did something else. You have to keep moving forward in this life. You have to keep walking through those fields and not looking down, looking up with the faith and the hope that everything is there for us. And that's the observer. And to be the observer of this life and from where I am, I have my experiences, I have my moments, but I walked this earth until I became a problem just because I walk with a sense of is what it is, can't change it, can't. And everybody's like, what? How come you're not so angry? How come you're not getting worked up? Because it's not mine. And so I became more of what people expected me to be. And now I found myself returned to who I originally was. And it's such a relief to be back to me. I am that little kid that goes out and plays with the ladybugs and don't see anything else that's happening. I could spend forever outside just doing nothing, only sitting watching the birds, and it's okay. I don't have to get up and go run a marathon today because somebody else is out running a marathon. And being able to set yourself free of that. But I know when God says to me, okay, Corrie, go, it is time to go. Okay, do this, do that. I listen because it's in the power of being able to observe is how you get to see the world. You don't have to always be so invested in the involvement. You just have to be present sometimes. And stop looking into the hands of another. Look into your hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. I didn't share, this is on my personal page this morning, but one of my very first more than existing events that I put off was a circled group, a small group at my friend's yoga studio in Slave Lake. And the picture that I used to use was hands, and it had an earth in the middle and holding the hands in there. 4 years ago today was the day that I offered that first workshop. Today is Earth Day. And that showed up in my memory today. You have the whole world, just like when I went to Sunday school and he says he's got the whole world in his hands, right? We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got our heart in our hands. We've got life in our hands. Your life is in your hands. Your life cannot be in the hands of government, somebody else's opinion, somebody else's thought, somebody else's way. It has to be in yours. And that's what More Than Existing teaches. It helps you to be able to stop reacting and responding and to be deprogrammed and learn tools to start to be able to walk your own way, to live your own life. I don't even tell my light worker coach healers how to be them. This is you, right? And to become the observer and to be this energy, transformation happens when you make a choice to be the one to walk away from everything that is not of service to the heart, to the soul, and to the earth. Bringing it home to us. And that is the power of the four. And so the world is full of four-leaf clovers. Full. Why are you searching for the one? Waiting to be the one. Wanting to be the one because somebody else became the one. I want to be the chosen one. Why am I not the chosen one? Why is she the chosen one? Why is he the chosen one? Hear that? Right? And so that's our big message. I think that's our big message of the day. I got to keep looking at the time. Good morning, everybody who's joining in. Corona is all about observer. Shauna, I cannot wait to be able to have my own deck of your cards. They are beautiful and amazing. I know, Shauna, I can't wait to get them out either. Or we'll have to do pre-sales once I can get the book finished. Me and that damn book. And yeah, because they are going to cost a lot of money to print. So I'll have to pre-sell to print. Exactly. You will never find, as long as you're searching outside of yourself for anything. And that's the four-leaf clover. As long as you are searching outside of you, if you're waiting for the material world to provide for you everything that you need to find within you, that's why God hid the best treasure inside of the people, because we would never look inside of us. We would look everywhere else for the most precious treasure instead of looking inside of us. The last place we'll look is inside of us. That's the place we come after we've exhausted and completed, or exhausted and depleted everything else in the world. Will come home to us. And that's what you're going to have to witness. That's what we are observing. You're going to have to watch this crumble before people are willing to come home to them and say, it's on me. It's on me. And that's the truth. Yeah. Right? You love being your child self, right, Raina? Yeah, Raina, I do too. It's like, I love my backyard, and that's where the birds, the crickets, the butterflies, right? Exactly. I spend forever in my backyard. Sometimes it could be days before I ever leave my backyard, other than to go for my walk, of course. Yeah, lots of fours. Yeah, 4th month, 22nd. Oh, yeah. So it is, Rich. Never even thought about it. It is. This is a power of 4 day. Ha. See, I never even looked at that this morning. I just got up and start going. Start channeling as my 4-leaf clover came up today. That's funny. I got to find that again in my little book here. Hold on. So this is my life. Like, this is stuff that I'm channeling all the time. This is my angels. This is things that I see. So this is what I wrote. I'm going to read to you what I wrote. This is a writing from my newest book, I believe. What I ask of you, you may never understand, but you accept all the challenges, but don't carry the pain. I can't afford for you to go to sleep and to pause, for you have just begun. I set you free to fly far and wide, and I trust and know you will do this, for you understand the power and the pain that goes with control. You understand the power and the pain that goes with control. Do you know what that means? That means the definition, the feeling, the thought that they have for love, because somebody previously hurt them, because in the past there was hurt. So the pain is leading the way to what they think is love. And that's where control comes in. Not everybody is the face of the pain story of what somebody had experienced in the past. And when we stop laying blame upon everybody else in the world, change will begin. And pain is the ultimate level of love, because when you are in pain, you are being engulfed in so much unconditional love. You're being given so much love. I got to move my nose, right? Sorry. It's too big for my nose. Right? It's all within ourselves. Oh, thank you, carding. Good morning, everyone else who's joining in. So, one last card. So the 4-leaf clover is not about luck. It is about faith. It is truly about compassion, kindness. It is a symbol of hope, not luck. It is hope, faith. It is about folding in. When you fold it in, the very center, the stem, the roots, goes all the way back to eternity. It is hope. It brings us back into hope. When it folds in, it knows its purpose. It knows its why. And so when we do truly step into there, this is the things that I've wrote about it. What feeds you, what feeds you will fuel you. What feeds you will fuel you. What feeds you will fuel you. And that's what you have to remember. And so we have a 5, we have the fragments of you, we have hollow. And this is the return. This is coming back home to us. This is the return back to us that we're getting. Watching time here, guys. And I want to finish this out because I have 3 cards. So I am going to pull the fragments of you. It is that seeing you, seeing the wholeness of you. You don't have to know exactly who you are to be whole. You have to have faith in you. You have to return to the sense of hope. You have to come back into that knowing that is an infinite supply of love that empowers and fuels us and feeds us. But when the pain and power of control, power and pain comes together within the unhealthy, emotionally and spiritually immature, then that's when we get control, the need to control. Perfect timing for to hear this message. Good. Yay. I love that. Thanks, Lisa. And so the card to come. See, I thought we were going to get married this morning, but we're not. We're getting rebirth. We're getting wholeness. See, just can't make this shit up. That this is wholeness. This is the beautiful rebirth. It is not the power of when the rebirth happens. It is in the pause. It is in the moments after when you hold with such love, when you hold and feel that love. Give yourself time to heal, to process, to be present with you, to fall back into love. And the wholeness is that you have to give things time to complete. You have to give yourself time to evolve, time to grow. This is the issue with now, that instant gratification. I want it now. I want to tell people what to do now. I want to give this out to the world now. I want to teach it now. Nobody wants to start at the foundation anymore. No, everybody wants the empire. Everybody wants to be at the top of the chain. Everybody wants to be important, to be validated, and nobody wants to sit in the power and to sit in the power of love and to sit in the power of embracing, sit in that sense of accomplishment, of being able to one by one. It takes that one by one. When you do it one by one, it is the brick and the mortar. It is putting together the ingredients to bring it together, to lock it in, to know that if you do that step by step, you will be cared for, you will be loved, it will come together. And it does rise one by one, brick and mortar, putting it back together, not to build walls that keep ourselves hidden from the world, about building a strong foundation so that we can build up and we can be seen in the light of this light, to be seen for what we are doing on earth that is of the highest good for all in a beautiful, healthy way. It is time for the world to mature and grow up and stop blaming the world that was immature, that was younger, that was more youthful, because we have aged, we have grown, we have evolved. And who we are today and what we are today can be that change. But the new beginning, that return to wholeness, sit and pause in this. And so everything that is happening in the world right now, in the astrological, is telling us right now, slow it for a bit, pause in this. But today is still action, right? So it's like we're getting ready to kind of put the brakes on again and to look. So I feel like you're going to experience something not very nice come out, and you're going to see something that's going to make the whole world go, what the fuck has happened to us? How and where did we get to this? There's always that turning point. There's that tipping point. There's that one little piece that breaks. And I feel like it's like you're going to be witnessing, seeing it, and it's going to take something like that that brings the change, because that's what happens to us. We have that one thing that humbles us to our knees. And when we are humbled, we sit in that humility, and then we go through all the process of the dark night of the soul, the healing, the journey, and you got to pause in it after. And you have to hold your own heart, hold your own life, explore where you have been, and just allow destiny to unfold with love. It is like the four-leaf clover that opens. It is like the diamond effect that we talk about. The diamond effect, it is not what's on the outside that makes the diamond valuable. It's all that it took to make that diamond and create that diamond. And it wasn't the person that chiseled it down into a shape and put the price on it. It was the earth that brought it together and compressed it and brought it and made it solid. And when it was solid, it reflected out. And somebody had to claim it, somebody has to own it, and everybody wants one. But it is what's on the inside. It is the original specs that it's inside of it that matters the most. The grain of sand. Exactly. Exactly. It goes right back to the grain of sand. Look into the hourglass. Look into the center of the diamond, the center of everything. You got to go to the core of you. Got to get back to the original. Right there. That's more than existing. That's everything that we do in more than existing. That's everything of all of my work. This is the original. Good as it gets. All right, guys. I do have to leave you. That's your message. I hope it resonates with you. Let it sit with you. Let it just go with, like, let it flow through today. Even if it doesn't make sense, it is in your heart. It sits with you, and let it be a part of you today. And if you can be anything today, be kind. Just every single morning, I wake up and just ask that today, let me be a better human than I was yesterday. Let me do the right things for the right reasons. And that's all we can do. Much, much love. Have a beautiful day. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.